Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. Several local leaders and Capitol Heights residents voiced concerns about a liquor store's request for a special Sunday liquor sales permit. The mayor and town council that is voted to support the request from Bell's Drive-In Liquors. Resident Sean Malden says the vote should have taken place in an open public session.
It's not a good message that we continue to promote the sale of liquor. I know folks are saying, well, it's just one additional day, but that doesn't matter. It's still a day that we can, allow maybe someone to not have to deal with a drunk relative or parent who may be abusing them. So it gives us just that one day of a break. This was a decision that took place with a council and the mayor in a work session, and there was no public hearing. Now, I understand that now they're wanting to do a more public hearing, which I'm appreciative of that. That's good that now they're considering, after I sent out my message, they're like, okay, let's hear from the community.
A public hearing has now been scheduled for Monday, September 26th at 7 p.m. at the Capitol Heights Town Hall. The Bowie City Council sends a letter to the Prince George's County Council urging it to oppose a number of zoning bills. The letter addresses 5 zoning bills. The Bowie Council and others contend the measures could have policy implications, undermining the recent enacted countywide map amendment. Opponents also say the bill could have an impact on more than 7,000 properties in Prince George's. The Bowie City Council also raised concerns that one of the bills could, in effect, rezone property through legislation rather than authorize zoning process. County officials hold a ribbon cutting for a new affordable housing development. This is the new Gateway at Peerless, located at the 15,000 block of Peerless Avenue in Upper Marlboro. The property, which is designed to be a mixed income building, sits on nearly 8 acres of land and has 62 units.
In addition to new community and fitness rooms, we have a playground and a walking trail, but we also brought new water and sewer service all the way up Peerless Avenue. This site was previously vacant with outhouses, wasn't served by public sewer when we acquired it. Now public water and sewer is all the way up Peerless Avenue. And in addition, with regard to water, we looped it all the way back down 301 to the intersection with 725.
Officials say 75% of the units will be reserved for families with incomes at or below 60% of the area median income. Prince George's County flags will be flown at half-staff for the next 30 days. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks made the announcement today in honor of former council member David Harrington. Harrington, who was 68 years old, passed away earlier this week. In a press release, County Executive Alsobrooks said the community's heart was heavy over the loss. She also praised him for helping businesses thrive locally. Harrington had a long history serving. He was an ordained minister and served as mayor of Bladensburg, Maryland state senator that is, and president and CEO of the Prince George's County Chamber of Commerce. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Back in a moment.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. Here are today's COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 1,090 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's is at 9.36%. 7 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours. 445 people are hospitalized. The Federal Reserve raises interest rates yet again, this time by a whopping 0.75 percentage point. The third consecutive rise to stave off inflation likely signals an increased chance of a recession. Now, for those with variable mortgages rates, monthly payments will likely increase. Now, since early 2022, mortgage rates have climbed from 3 to more than 6%. Those planning to buy a home with a fixed interest rate could also see their monthly costs skyrocket.
The U.S. economy has slowed from the historically high growth rates of 2021, which reflected the reopening of the economy following the pandemic recession. Recent indicators point to modest growth of spending and production. Growth in consumer spending has slowed from last year's rapid pace, in part reflecting lower real disposable income and tighter financial conditions. Activity in the housing sector has weakened significantly, in large part reflecting higher mortgage rates. Higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment, while weaker economic growth abroad is restraining exports.
Credit cards, auto financing, and other variable rate loans could also be affected. September is National Preparedness Month, and all month long, the Prince George's County Office of Homeland Security has been sharing life-saving information with residents to make sure that they're ready for whatever may come their way. This year's theme is a lasting legacy, which will focus on preparing families for a disaster or emergency so they can create a lasting legacy for the future. Generations, that is. Families are encouraged to sign up for Alert Prince George's now.
Alert Prince George's is the county's public notification system that sends critical real-time emergency alerts, notifications, and updates to the public. The system allows residents to not only choose their mode of contact, but it also gives the residents opportunity to choose the types of alerts they'd like to receive. Disasters and emergencies can happen anytime, and many of these times are without warning. Here at the Office of Homeland Security, we encourage residents to be prepared all year long. Preparedness Month is a great opportunity to begin putting plans together, building your kits, and having a communications plan. And if you don't do this, it's a good time this month to develop one.
You can sign up for Alert Prince George's at alertmypgc.us, and you can get the Prepared Prince George's app in your iPhone or Android app store. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we bring you a story about the power of a growing group of people. As you may know, many young Latinos have become strong advocates for immigration reform. But did you know they're also taking on environmental issues such as climate change? One local researcher says issues such as flooding, drought, and water shortages have directly impacted the community.
Hispanics are a group that is very young. Relatively speaking to other groups. And so they encompass a large part of millennials and Generation C. And what we find is that either being millennial or Generation C or being Latino really helps explain support for and prioritizing climate change policies, because Latinos are disproportionately affected by climate change, not only in their homelands in Latin America, where it's a huge issue, but in the businesses that they are and jobs that they are involved with here in the U.S. A lot of them are, for example, agricultural workers. Latinos often live in, urban cities where, issues of climate and the environment are really front and center. And so it's a really important issue to Latinos that doesn't get discussed a lot because we're always talking about immigration.
Rouse, a Latina, is the author of 2 books dealing with diversity and the politics of millennials. For more information on her research, log on to the website right there on your screen. Hispanic Heritage Month, by the way, runs from September the 15th to October the 15th. Officials released new information on a fatal police shooting in Riverdale Park. It happened on Sunday on the 4700 block of Oglethorpe Street. The victim has been identified as 75-year-old Brian Corporal. During the incident, police say they followed Corporal after he ran back into a house and pointed a gun at officers. He was then shot by Riverdale Park Police Officer Chad Sunday. Sunday was wearing a body camera at the time of the incident. He has been with the department for 2 years. The shooting remains under investigation. More news plus sports coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. A 23-year-old man wanted in connection with a homicide in Landover is nabbed in California. Here is the suspect, 23-year-old Christopher Brown of San Francisco. He's accused of killing 44-year-old Damian Brodus of Landover. The incident happened on August 25th at around 3:45 in the afternoon. Police were called to the 3200 block of 75th Avenue for a welfare check. Brodus was found in the apartment suffering from what investigators call sharp force trauma to his body. The suspect fled to California. He was arrested in San Francisco on Tuesday and is awaiting extradition back to Prince George's County. Montgomery County Public Schools announced new security measures for school sporting events. This is after two major brawls broke out at a recent football game. Starting tomorrow, backpacks will no longer be allowed at games. Students who don't attend the schools playing a game must be accompanied by adults. Spectators will no longer be admitted after halftime. Also, there'll be more restrictions in place regarding who is allowed on the sidelines at games.
Tolerate any sort of indefensible or violent behaviors, because that then becomes a violation to our community. So that is simply not welcome on or off the fields, and I just want to make sure everyone understands that.
Hopefully we don't have to go any farther, okay, and we have that positive culture and community event established. If there is the reason for a specific game or district-wide, we go to Tier 2. Some of the actions in Tier 2, limiting that attendance to the home students.
Again, the new restrictions begin tomorrow and will apply to all sporting events. A tragic incident causes a local martial arts business to relocate, but as Laurencia Moten tells us, they are trying and looking to rebuild.
I'm here outside of what once was the home of Full Circle Martial Arts Academy, a local business in Prince George's County that has been a staple in this community for over 25 years. The academy was started by award-winning martial artist Grandmaster Scott, who says the impact the academy has had on kids for over 2 decades goes far beyond just martial arts.
We've had a huge impact because we're a life skills school. As it relates to martial arts training, a lot of people have martial arts training where they come in and entertain the kids with kicking and punching. We do that for the sake of teaching them how to protect themselves and build confidence. What's more important to us is that they learn life skills.
This past February, the Martial Arts Academy's building was engulfed in flames and nearly leveled to the ground. Now, 8 months later, the Academy is making the best out of their unfortunate circumstance. The original building was approximately 7,800 square feet, broken into 2 different sections separated by age groups. Currently, classes are held in a much smaller temporary space that they rent. Instruction is held in one room and multiple age groups can be seen practicing at the same time. If you happen to pass the original facility, you will see a sign that reads, "We will build back better." Grandmaster Scott explains what this means for his business.
You know, we're coming up on 30 years in February, and so we're actually looking to purchase our own building. Yeah, so we're here for about another 6 months or so while we search for a nice location. We'd love to go back on the corner because it's a staple in the community, and every time I'm out there kind of doing a little work around the facility, people are riding by and saying, "Hey, you guys coming back? We love you," you know, so we don't really want to leave the corner, but at the same time, maybe it's a sign for us to kind of get our own place now.
Grandmaster Scott also mentioned expanding his business to areas like Bowie and Kettering within the next 6 months. If you would like to donate towards the rebuild, visit the GoFundMe link on your screen. In Capitol Heights, Laurencia Moten, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Laurencia. That's your CTV News update. I'm Taylor Thomas. Thanks for joining us. Good night.